People come up to me all the time and they're like, they always say, will you buy this home?
I know,
is this
right?
home good for you? What do you think? You know?
Yep.
So I'm like, is this home fit your needs? Like, each home is different for each person, right?
Yeah, of course.
But here's the question, okay? And I'm throwing it out to you guys too. How do you know how to spot a dream home before it's gone? So how do you know if it's a dream home for you?
Right. It's your dream.
I mean, everybody keeps asking, you know, it's like, all right, how do I know if this is the right home? So I jotted down a whole bunch of things that people keep saying. It's like, oh, I love this house because of this reason, or I love this house because of that reason. So watch this video till the end, because some of them are really unique towards the end, why people are buying these houses. All right. In the meantime, do me a favor. If you like this kind of content, consider subscribing. It really helps out the channel, and it's greatly appreciated. So here's this. This is what Tanya says, okay, my wife. When she goes into a property, she says, oh, I got butterflies in my stomach. So let's buy it.
I get it.
Or when we're buying a boat, she goes, if I get the butterflies, I'll buy the boat or the car or whatever. So the moment you walk in, it feels right. Can you already picture yourself living there? What do you think of that one?
I mean, there's something to that. When you just walk in, I mean, some of it's just wow factor. You know, you walk in, we were at the builder looking at some of the new houses that they just opened up.
Do you ever get that feeling like, oh man, I would love to live here?
Yeah. And then usually what happens is by the time I've gone back and either shown it a few times or visited and done a video or something, I'm kind of like, eh. And then it kind of loses its luster.
Yeah, but it's the wow factor that, you know, gets it. I walk into houses I'm inspecting, and I'm like, wow, I would love to live here, but I couldn't afford it, but wow.
And then by the time you're done inspecting it and you've walked back and forth 15 times, you're like, yeah, now I'm good.
What a piece of junk.
Yeah.
All right, here's the thing that you know if it's a dream home for you. Close to work, good schools, shopping, entertainment, with a neighborhood that feels welcoming.
Yeah. A warm neighborhood, like mature landscape is kind of a thing.
Neighbors outside talking to neighbors, barbecue, maybe, you know, a neighborhood bulletin board. Like, I walked into a neighborhood, did inspection in a neighborhood, and like every block had these little, they're not mailboxes, but they're like book sharing. Like, it's in front of somebody's house, and people put books in there. And
that's kind of cool.
And they share books, you know? Yeah. And like nobody goes in there, grabs it, or knocks it down. But it gives some kind of a warm feeling that the neighbors are talking to neighbors.
Yeah,
you know?
Back gives the word, you know, community back to a community.
Yeah,
again.
and then I drove a little further down, and there was some kids selling lemonade, like the old-fashioned days and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a good feeling. I'm like, oh, you know what? This neighborhood's pretty nice.
But they're taking credit cards, and it's $6. And
who knows? Okay, what about this one, Bill? Curb appeal, a well-maintained exterior with landscaping that makes a great first impression.
First impressions are important.
They're so important.
When you walk up to the house, you're like, wow. But you walk up to the house and there's, you know, cobwebs or something, and just it's kind of in disrepair, and it's not, you know, I'm not saying like, you know, perfect movie set type stuff, but, you know, you can tell. And then you go inside and it's gorgeous, but you kind of like, we're outside and you're like, yeah.
But you know something? I've been in thousands of homes, and I can honestly say when I pull into the driveway, I know what kind of inspection it's going to be.
Yeah.
I pretty much, and I'm right maybe 97% of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe 3% of the time I'm wrong, but a lot of times when I first pull in, I'm like, oh damn, this is going to take me forever. This is going to be a pain in the neck to write this report, or wow, this is going to be a nice, easy one. You agree or disagree?
I agree. You can kind of spot it.
Well, what about this one? Competitive pricing, priced reasonably for the market, indicating it won't stay available for long. How do you know it's priced correctly?
Well, you have to do a comparison. You have to look at the other houses that have sold, you know, and see what they had, how they were they renovated.
Yeah, but now you're talking to buyers. What do? They're going to go to Zillow and just see what's sold in that neighborhood, and then say and take 5 houses and then average them out and see what the price is. What they should.
Well, no, do you look at the solds? You said sold. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you look at the solds, and that's what your agent should be doing. If you, first off, just find the house, see if you like the house. That's the biggest hurdle. Going in to do a market analysis is not just looking 5 houses and then divide it by 5 and that's the average. You know, there's more to it than that.
Should they go to like, one couple that I spoke to, they went to a couple of open houses, and one open house that they went to, they told me, they want just to see the house. And the realtor there says, hey, I need you to sign a buyer's agreement.
That's not true.
That's what the realtor, that's what they told me.
No, if you're going to an open house, you do not have to sign a buyer's agreement to go and tour a property at a house. The agent is representing the seller. If you want to look at other houses with that agent, then yes, you would. Now, the caveat to that is, perhaps, just throwing it out there, their broker does have a policy that requires everybody to sign at least a showing agreement when you come in the door.
For that particular house.
But what
if they're working with another realtor, but the other realtor just couldn't make it, but the couple wants to go and look at homes?
Yeah, but you have a contract with another realtor, so.
Yeah, so you just tell them, I have a contract, I already have a realtor?
That's why I'm saying that doesn't apply, because that's not how it works. Now, they may have asked them to sign in a sign-in sheet, which I agree with 110%. I have no problem, and usually what I'll tell my clients is, if you're going to go to an open house, I give them a whole bunch of my business cards so they can just hand them. But sign in with my sheet, and if you just want to put your first name and then just put my name down and put my phone number, I'm totally cool with that. I go to a lot of open houses, both just looking for purchases,
You
of my
also
own.
do tours of towns and the houses.
Yeah,
Video, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I don't think I've ever run into an agent that, when you said you had a real estate agent, they made a big deal over,
over
anything.
that. Okay.
So it's very easy.
So here, how to spot the dream home before it's gone. Strong market demand. If a similar homes in the area are selling quickly, you'll need to act fast.
I agree with that.
You agree with that one?
Yeah. Trends are a big deal. Yeah. If you're looking at houses, and the market trend in that area is 60 to 70 days before you get under contract, then that's the market trend in that area. It doesn't mean that one won't sell, but if everything's going for sale in that neighborhood in 2 to 3 days, 5 days, then yeah, you probably need to think a little bit faster on your feet.
Here's another one to spot a dream home. Functional layout. The floor plan suits your lifestyle and offering a few flow between. So basically, just the way it's laid out, it's perfect for you. The office is there.
Yeah.
The kids' rooms are there.
And the key word is there, it's for you. Mm-hmm. It's perfect for you.
What about this one? Move-in ready condition. Minimal repairs or updates needed, saving you time and money.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we've talked about in our previous video, that, buyers have a lot more choice now. And if you're going to list your house for a premium price, make sure it's a premium house. And, sprucing up the house a little bit, a little bit of money goes a long way when it comes to, selling your property and getting it ready to show.
All right, what about this one to know if it's a good deal or not? High quality upgrades, modern kitchen, updated bathrooms, new appliances, and energy efficient add-on value. So like if you walk in there like, wow, this is a brand new kitchen, brand new bathrooms. That says a lot, right?
It does say a lot.
Until the inspector goes up in the attic or looks at the electrical and stuff.
Well, that's not necessary. Yeah, I mean, maybe yes, maybe no.
How many times have I seen flipped homes? So
right. Well, that's a flipped home versus somebody who's living in the home. There's a difference.
But we got to talk about it. Yeah. I can tell you so many times people, hire me to go do an inspection, and they're like, "This is our dream home." My wife is so excited about it, or whoever is so excited about it, and I walk in, they're like, "Oh, Jimmy, look at this kitchen. Look at these bathrooms." I'm like, yeah, nice, and then I'm like, all right, let me get started. And then a couple hours later, I'm like, all right, let's go down the list of all the problems.
Right. But there's a difference between a house that somebody's living in and a house that a flipper purchased and flipped.
Okay. Now, dream home. Okay. A lot of people say that I want to buy this house because lots of natural light, bright open spaces created an inviting, positive atmosphere.
Of course.
That's pretty important.
Yeah, and think about it this way too. It's you don't have to have the lights on your house all day. You've got natural light coming in. Natural light is much better than having to use a lamp, and a light bulb all day.
Yeah, that's true.
Like you're in your office.
Solid structure and good bones. A well-built home with no major structural issues, even if cosmetic updates are needed. So like me in Florida, I wouldn't buy a wood framed house. I just wouldn't. Yes, if it's on stilts, it has to be wood frame. But if it's just a ranch, I would not buy a wood frame house because I don't feel those bones, as they say, is as good as quality as block. Are some of them? Yeah, some of them that built a long time ago.
But the wood, we can get into that. I mean, wood was different back then.
Wood was different back then.
Way different.
Like I did an
A
inspection.
2x4 was actually 2 inches by 4 inches.
Yeah, like I did an inspection of a house that was like 10,000 square feet, built in 1890. This house is going to be, it's here in Tarpon. This house is going to be around 100, 200 years from now.
Yeah.
And it's wood.
That wood's petrified for the most part. I remember a house down the street from where you did that. We renovated that house. This is probably late 90s when we did this, but I remember having the cut that wood. Number one, the wood was all the 2 inches was actually 2 inches. It wasn't, an inch and 3/4 like the wood is now for like a 2x4, 2x6, etc. And it's slow growth wood, and it's old, and it was like iron.
Yeah.
To cut.
Okay, ample storage, closets, cabinets, attic, basements meets your storage needs. That's a really important one.
Yeah, attics, I wouldn't do that in Florida.
No, but
unless you have like one of those builders that has the spray foam in the attic, and then your attic's pretty much 97 degrees.
Yeah. Backyard potential, great outdoor space for relaxation, entertainment, and future projects. Very important.
Yep.
That might be your dream, especially if you have a dog and you want to be fenced in and stuff.
Yeah.
I think backyard is extremely important. Like on a dream home for me, reasonable HOA fees if applicable. If a home is an HOA, entire fees are reasonable and the rules aren't too restrictive. I personally think that HOAs, it's more important that you check out the HOAs than committing to the house at the beginning. I think the HOA is just as important as the house. Am I wrong or am I right?
No, understanding your HOA rules are critical. Absolutely critical. You really need to look at those. And the good thing is the state's changed some rules on that. So now HOAs, at least of a certain size, it's mandated that they have to post their stuff online.
Yeah.
It's not the whole, well, you have to pay for it or wait till the transaction occurs and then you have 3 days to review it. So that's really made reviewing those, I know they're boring, but it's critical that you review.
It's critical. All right. No major red flags, no signs of water damage, foundation issues, or serious repairs, and could turn costly if it's a problem.
Of course.
That's a no-brainer.
Yeah, it goes without saying.
If you have kids, great school district. Even if you don't have kids, a strong school district boosts resale value.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, if you have kids, you want a good school district. But if you don't have kids, if you're in, like where I live, my kids are all grown up and out of school. But my school district where I am, it's a great school. People will pay a premium to get into that neighborhood.
Oh yeah, same with my neighborhood. We have a school in my neighborhood because we're a little bit larger community, and I mean people, they pay because they want to be in that school, and they like it because it's golf cart friendly. Yeah. The kids can ride their bikes when they get a little bit older.
That's where I'm going to the next one. Friendly neighbors. A quick chat with potential neighbors can give you insight into the community feel.
Oh yeah, and then go to that community at different times of the day if you want to get a feel for it. Evening time after work, go for the weekend. You want to kind of get a feel before it.
There's always people that want to talk.
And it's easy. Just roll your windows down. I talk to people all the time, and that's how I get a lot of insights about a neighborhood. Is I just roll down. Hey guys, how's it going? And then you kind of know who's gonna. They're just waving and they go about their business, or they're willing to chat.
Yeah, or like even my neighborhood. I guarantee you, if you park at one end, I live like on a loop thing kind of. If you park at one end and just got out of your car and you just walked and said hello to people, they will start talking to you. By the time you get to the other end, back to your car, you'll know everything about the neighborhood.
Yep.
Because people will tell you the complaints and the benefits.
Exactly.
I'm telling you, it's not that hard. Low property taxes, insurance costs, research tax rates, and insurance costs, like flood, is this house in a flood zone? It might be your dream home, but it also might cost you a fortune to insure. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, do your research, that's for sure.
Strong resale potential, desirable location, and timeless features make it a great long-term investment. So let me ask you this question. Are some neighborhoods, you're buying your dream home, is it just your dream home, or is it going to be a dream home for once you want to sell it for somebody else?
Elaborate.
So, okay, so like, oh, I'm walking in this house. This house is perfect for me. Look, it has this bedroom, it has this, has that. Now, is it something that's just a dream home for you, and everybody else will walk in and be like, oh, you know? What were you thinking?
You know what I would say is, if you love the house, you love the house. Like, why would you buy for somebody else? And if you're already kind of like, well, I'm going to sell this house, like you're already thinking about selling the house, maybe it's not the right house.
Well, that's why the next one goes into fits your long-term need. It accommodates your future plans, whether it's growing your family or working remotely. So it meets your needs long-term. Like my house, I've been in my house a long time.
Yep.
And I don't see me, I see me, having another house to go to for the weekend and stuff, but my primary house, I don't think Tanya would ever sell it.
I don't know why. What would you, like I've asked you this before too, like we've had these conversations, what would you sell that house for to buy something?
Well, the whole thing is, it's just like so many empty bedrooms, just so much unused space, but
it still doesn't make sense. For you to sell, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It really doesn't.
And here's a big one, okay, that I think, that I wrote down, that you can't, when you leave that house, you can't stop thinking about it. I think that is key. You really can't stop thinking about the house, the feeling you have when you imagine yourself inside the house.
So it's kind of back to the first, when we started the video, is the butterfly effect there in your tummy going, ooh.
So I think it's the butterfly effect when you first walk in, and then when you leave and you're home, and the next day and the following day, you're still thinking about that house.
Yep.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think those are the most important things. You agree?
Yeah, I agree with that. I agree. You hit a lot of, it's how you feel in the property. It's not about what I think. It's not about what Jimmy thinks. I try not to give you my opinion. If I see major red flags, I tell you the red flags because that's my job, to point out the things. But at the end of the day, it's your decision.
Yeah. So that's it. That's today's video. Tell us what you think. What did we miss? Did we miss something about how to pick the dream home of your, that everybody would love? No. Do me a favor, consider subscribing. It really helps channel. It's greatly appreciated. It is freezing out.
Yep.
And we're gonna go get some food. Watch this video right here. I picked it out just for you guys. You'll enjoy this one, and we'll talk to you in the next one, and we'll speak to you soon.
See you on the next video. Thanks.